What's up, guys? Joshua 22 through 24. So we're going to finish this book today. 22, 23, 24. Bible reading. Pinned. So yeah. 22, 23, and 24. We're going to finish the book of Joshua today. And then we'll get on to Judges. Judges tomorrow. Things start getting kind of popping. Just got done reading Matthew. Nice, man. Yeah. We're going to read the whole thing, so we'll get to Matthew eventually. But going through the Old Testament first. Just finishing Joshua today. God bless everybody. Thank you, Father God, for being with us. Speak through me. I pray that you speak through me, Lord, and that these words reach all that need to hear it. All right. Oh, my babies. God bless. God bless. So, at the time of Joshua, summoned the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh and said to them, "You have kept all that Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, and have obeyed my voice in all that I have commanded you. You have not forsaken your brothers these many days due to this day, but have been careful to keep the charge of the Lord your God. And now the Lord your God has given rest to your borders as he promised them. Therefore turn and go to your tents in the land where your possessions lies, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you on the other side of the Jordan. Only be very careful to observe the commandment and the law that Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, to love the Lord your God and to walk in all his ways and keep his commandments and cling to him and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul." So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went to their tents. Now to the one half of the tribe of Manasseh, Moses had given a possession in Bashan, but to the other half Joshua had given a possession beside their brothers in the land west of the Jordan. And when Joshua sent them away to their homes and blessed them, he said to them, "Go back to your tents in much wealth and with very much livestock, with silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and with much clothing. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brothers," so that the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh returned home, parting from the people of Israel at Shiloh, which is the land of Canaan, to go to the land of Gilead, their own land of which they had possessed themselves by command of the Lord through Moses. So remember, those two tribes and then the half-tribe of Manasseh, they wanted land outside the promised land, and Moses gave that to them. And so that was theirs, under the condition that when they entered the promised land, they still entered the promised land with the rest of the Israelites and helped them conquer just the rest of the land of Canaan. So they kind of finished their conquest, so they're going back to outside to their original land. Now, and when they came to the region of the Jordan, that is the land of Canaan, the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by the Jordan, an altar of imposing size. And the people of Israel heard it, said, "Behold, the people of Reuben, the people of Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built the altar at the frontier of the land of Canaan, in the region about the Jordan, on the side that belongs to the people of Israel." And when the people of Israel heard of it, the whole assembly of the people of Israel gathered at Shiloh to make war against them. Then the people of Israel sent the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh in the land of Gilead, Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 chiefs, one from each of the tribal families of Israel, every one of them the head of a family among the clans of Israel. And they came to the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh in the land of Gilead, and they said to them, "Thus says the whole congregation of the Lord, What is the breach of faith that you have committed against the God of Israel in turning away this day from following the Lord by building yourselves an altar this day in rebellion against the Lord? Have we not had enough of sin at Peor, from which even yet we have cleansed ourselves, and for which there came a plague upon the congregation of the Lord, that you too must turn away this day from following the Lord? And if you too rebel against the Lord today, then tomorrow he will be angry with the whole congregation of Israel. But now if the land of your possession is unclean, pass over into the Lord's land, where the Lord's tabernacle stands, and take for yourselves possession among us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, or make us rebels by building for yourselves an altar other than the altar of the Lord our God. Did not Achan the son of Zerah break faith in the matter of the devoted things, and wrath fell upon the congregation of Israel, and he did not perish alone in his iniquity? When the people of Reuben, the people of Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh said in answer to the heads of the family of Israel, the mighty one, God, the Lord, the mighty one, God, the Lord, he knows and lets Israel itself know. If it was in rebellion or breach of faith against the Lord, do not spare us today for building an altar to turn away from following the Lord, or if we did so to offer burnt offerings or grain offerings or peace offerings on it. May the Lord himself take vengeance. No, but we did it from fear that in time to come your children might say to our children, what have you to do with the Lord, the God of Israel? For the Lord has made the Jordan a boundary between us and you. You people of Reuben and people of Gad, you have no portion in the Lord. So your children might make our children cease to worship the Lord. Therefore we said, let us now build an altar, not for burnt offerings, not for sacrifice, but to be a witness between us and you, and between our generations after us, that we do perform the service of the Lord in his presence with our burnt offerings and sacrifices and peace offerings. So your children will not say to our children in the time to come, you have no portion in the Lord. And we thought, if this should be said to us to do our descendants in time to come, we should say, behold the copy of the altar of the Lord, which our fathers made, not for burnt offerings, not for sacrifice, but to be a witness between us and you. Far be it from us that we should rebel against the Lord, and to turn away this day from the following the Lord by building an altar for burnt offering, grain offerings, or sacrifice other than the altar of the Lord our God that stands before his tabernacle. When Phinehas the priest and the chiefs of the congregation, the heads of the families of Israel who were with him, heard the words that the people of Reuben and the people of Gad, the people of Manasseh spoke, it was good in their eyes. And Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest said to the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the people of Manasseh, today we know that the Lord is in our midst, because you have not committed this breach of faith against the Lord. Now you have delivered the people of Israel from the hand of the Lord. Then Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest and the chiefs returned from the people of Reuben and the people of Gad and the land of Gilead to the land of Canaan, to the people of Israel, and brought back word to them. And the report was good in the eyes of the people of Israel, and the people of Israel blessed God and spoke no more of making war against them to destroy the land where the people of Reuben and the people of Gad were settled. The people of Reuben and the people of Gad called the altar witness, for they said, it's a witness between us and the Lord is God. God be with us all. Amen to that. So basically, Gad, the tribes of Gad, Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh, like I said, their land was outside the promised land because they chose that. They finished their kind of conquest under the condition that they helped the rest of Israel, take over the land of Canaan. Once they finished, they were able to go back to their original land. Once they were there, they built this giant altar. The rest of the land of Israel was like, or tribes of Israel were like, dude, why are you building this giant altar? Like, why are you messing up? We kind of have like a big rule that is, don't worship other gods. Don't build false idols. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, no, we built this for God. And then I guess they believed them. So, because they was about to wipe them out, and they were just like, we aren't in the promised land, so we're building this to remind our future generations and your future generations that we are one with God too, even though we're on the other side of the Jordan. What makes me think, though, is there biblical proof? Is there archaeological proof of that altar? A lot of the times it seems like that I've been looking this stuff up, there is kind of proof of these things. Not always, but a lot of the times. The altar in Joshua 22. Let's see. So no single specific ruin has been definitively labeled as the witness altar from Joshua 22. Archaeological surveys in the Jordan Valley have uncovered multiple sites that match its unique biblical description. So one hasn't technically been found where like this is for sure it, but they got a couple maybes. Thank you, sir, for the reading. It's nice Christians use their platform to share the word. Yeah, man. It's pretty much the only thing worth sharing. I mean, is Jesus, the word of God, right? But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So they got Kirbet Es Suita, located about 2 kilometers east of the modern Adam Bridge. The site features 9 by 7 meter stone fill platform surrounded by large unhewn blocks dating to the 14th or 12th century BCE. It is considered to be by some conservative archaeologists as a strong candidate for the altar of Ed. You okay, Mama? Then there's the Jordan Valley footprints. Archaeologist Adam Zertal discovered several foot-shaped stone enclosures in the Jordan Valley. These sites contain inner platforms, altars made of unhewn stones with no evidence of sacrificial ash or animal bones, perfectly matching the biblical claim that the altar was for witness rather than sacrifice. And then there's the Kern Sartabe. Some historical geographers proposed this prominent peak visible from both sides of the Jordan, which would make sense, right? As the location, while it lacks a confirmed altar structure from the specific era, its high visibility matches the Hebrew description of an altar that was great to see. So, yeah. It says there was a giant altar. There's a couple maybes. None of them have been technically picked and kind of like 100% like, yeah, this is it. But there's some probable finds. That's one thing about the Bible, I'm telling you. We'll be checking as we read, and a lot of stuff that you be in there like, oh, I wonder if there's archaeological evidence of this. All the time there's archaeological evidence. Do you do this every night? I do this every night. Usually closer to 11. Every once in a while I do it earlier. Some days during the week it's usually a little late, but rarely I do it in the middle of the day. But I definitely 3 chapters a day minimum. Scholars often note the irony that the very thing meant to prevent division almost caused a civil war here. This highlights the constant human struggle to maintain unity in the spirit despite geographical or cultural divides. Interesting. Okay, so now we just got chapter 23 and chapter 24. 24 being the last chapter of Joshua. 23 is only 16 verses long, so 23 is going to get done like right now, but let's read it. A long time afterward, when the Lord had given rest to Israel from all their surrounding enemies, and Joshua was old and well advanced in years, Joshua summoned all Israel, its elders and heads, its judges and officers, and said to them, I am now old and well advanced in years, and you have seen all the Lord your God has done to all these nations for your sake. For it is the Lord your God who has fought for you. Behold, I have allotted to you as an inheritance for your tribes those nations that remain, along with all the nations that I have already cut off from the Jordan to the great sea in the west. The Lord your God will push them back before you and drive them out of your sight, and you shall possess their land, just as the Lord your God promised you. Therefore, be very strong to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, turning aside from it neither to the right hand nor to the left, that you may not mix with these nations remaining among you, or make mention of the names of their gods, or swear by them, or serve them, or bow to them. But you shall cling to the Lord your God, just as you have done to this day. For the Lord has driven out before you great and strong nation, and as for you, no man has been able to stand before you to this day. One man of you puts to flight 1,000, since it is the Lord your God who fights for you, just as he has promised you. Be very careful, therefore, to love the Lord your God, for if you turn back and cling to the remnant of the nations remaining among you, and make marriages with them, so that you associate with them, and they with you, know for certain that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you, but they shall be a snare and a trap for you, a whip on your sides and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good ground that the Lord your God has given you. And now I am about to go the way of all the earth, and you know in your hearts and souls, all of you, that not one word has failed of all good things that the Lord your God promised concerning you. All have come to pass for you, not one of them has failed, but just as all the good things that the Lord your God promised concerning you, have been fulfilled for you. So the Lord will bring upon you all the evil things until he has destroyed you from off his good land that the Lord your God has given you. If you transgress the covenant of the Lord your God, which he has commanded you, and go and serve other gods and bow down to them, then the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you, and you shall perish quickly from off the good land that he has given you. So that's like the big thing. He's like, as you stay on the straight and narrow here, if you follow my rules, you get all this promised land. I gave you all this land. He's like, realistically, it wouldn't have happened. There's no way that this was going to happen without God. God has proven it. God said he was going to give it to you. God did give it to you. It is yours now, and it will continue to be yours as long as you follow God. If you start messing around and following these other gods in the regions, then God's not going to have you back no more. And, like, can you blame God, right? He's like, doing all this stuff for him. He's like, man, all I need is you to follow me, and we're good. And then after that, like if that's all you want from him, he's like, just follow my rules and we're good. I'm giving you all this stuff. And like, you can't be mad at him for going like, I'm going to take it all away because you're not following the rules that I gave to you, It's fair. It's fair. Please reply to me on direct after the broadcast, brother. Okay. If you message me, I shall look for what you said. Gotta remind myself to do that. I'll be forgetting. Okay, so that was 23. It's just reminding that God did everything he said he was gonna do, and he's like, and you're gonna be fine as long as you keep listening to me. But I'm gonna take it all away if you ain't listening to me no more. So now, chapter 24, last chapter of the book, 33 verses. Let's get it. Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem and summoned the elders, the heads, the judges, the officers of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. And Joshua said to all the people, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, long ago your fathers lived beyond the Euphrates, Terah, the father of Abraham and of Nahor, and they served other gods. Then I took your father Abraham from beyond the river and led him through all the land of Canaan and made his offsprings many. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. Jacob being the one who becomes Israel. And I gave Esau the hill country of Seir to possess, but Jacob and his children went down to Egypt, and I sent Moses and Aaron, and I plagued Egypt, and what I did in the midst of it, and afterward I brought you out. Then I brought your fathers out of Egypt, and you came to the sea, and the Egyptians pursued your fathers in chariots and horsemen to the Red Sea, and when they cried to the Lord, he put darkness between you and the Egyptians and made the sea come upon them and cover them. And your eyes saw what I did in Egypt, and you lived in the wilderness a long time. Then I brought you to the land of the Amorites, who lived on the other side of the Jordan. They fought with you, and I gave them into your hand, and I took your possession, and you took possession of their land, and I destroyed them before you. The Balak son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and fought against Israel, and he sent and invited Balaam, the son of Beor, to curse you. But I would not listen to Balaam. So Balaam was this kind of like a prophet. Like, he was linked in with kind of God's divineness. Like, I don't know. He had just like this path. Like, there's certain people that were kind of like touched. Like Moses. Moses had like this, like, he could talk to God. We don't hear a lot of Balaam's story, but he basically has that same kind of ability, but he would kind of use it negatively and would like sell it. You know, he was like a blessings for hire kind of guy, or cursing for hire. So this place summoned him to curse Israel, but God was like, dude, I'm not gonna let you curse Israel. Like, I'm not gonna curse Israel. Like, you're not, like, I know you be talking to me, but that's no way. So while Balaam was asking for the curses, for Israel to be cursed, he just kept on blessing Israel. That Balaam dude, pretty interesting character. Son of Beor, to curse you, but I would not listen to Balaam. Indeed, he blessed you. So all while he was trying to curse him, God blessed them instead. He was only allowed to bless, ask for blessings for Israel. Just goes to show that God's got all of our back way more than you even realize. Like, people might be trying to curse you right now, but God's over here like, nah, that's not that one, not that one, not that one. God be allowing the things that need to happen, or things that aren't going to mess up his plans. Because I know, like, some bad things do be happening, but it's all going to be used for the goodness of his kingdom in the long run. So it's not that bad. So, okay. He blessed you, so I delivered you out of the hand, and you went over the Jordan and came to Jericho, and the leaders of Jericho fought against you, and also the Amorites and the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I gave them into your hand, and I sent the hornet before you, and drove them out before you. The two kings of the Amorites, it was not by your sword or by your bow. I gave you a land on which you had not labored, and the cities that you had not built, and you dwell in them. You eat the fruit of the vineyards and the olive orchards, or orchards that you did not plant. Now, therefore, fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity, in the faithfulness. Put away the gods that your fathers served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your fathers served in the regions before the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Then the people answered, far be it from us that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods, for it is the Lord our God who brought us and our fathers up from the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, and who did those great signs in our sight and preserved us all in the way that we went. and among all the peoples through whom we passed, and the Lord drove out before us all the peoples, the Amorites who lived in the land. Therefore we also will serve the Lord, for he is our God. But Joshua said to the people, you are not able to serve the Lord, for he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your transgressions or your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, then he will turn and do you harm and consume you after having done you good. And the people said to Joshua, no, but we will serve the Lord. Then Joshua said to the people, you are witness against yourselves that you have chosen the Lord to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. He said, then put away the foreign gods that are among you and incline your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel. And the people said to Joshua, the Lord our God we will serve, and his voice we will obey. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day and put in place statutes and rules for them at Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a large stone and set it up there under the terebinth that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said to all the people, behold, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord that he spoke to us. Therefore it shall be a witness against you, lest you deal falsely with your God. So Joshua sent the people away, and every man to his inheritance. I wonder if we've ever found that. Let's see. This one, I'd be surprised if they did, but who knows? Let's see. Ever find evidence, archaeological evidence of the stone in Joshua 24. What verse is that? 27. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. So there's archaeological evidence of that too. Many archaeologists and biblical scholars believe the witness stone mentioned in Joshua 24, 26 through 27 has actually been found. There's very famous candidate at the site of ancient Shechem, modern day Tel Balat, that matches the biblical descriptions with the remarkable precision. The Great Stone. In the early 20th century and later during the Saline and Wright excavation, 1950s to 60s, archaeologists uncovered a massive standing stone known in Hebrew as Masaba. The description, Joshua 24 through 26, says Joshua took a large stone and set it under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. At the entrance of the fortress temple in Shechem, archaeologists found a massive white limestone slab. It stands about 5 feet high, though the top of it is broken off. It was originally taller. It is nearly 5 feet wide. It is a singular prominent monument intended to be seen by a large crowd. Several factors make this stone the primary candidate for Joshua's witness stone. The stone is located directly in front of a massive temple structure. 24:26 specifically mentions the stone is placed by the sanctuary of the Lord. Excavations revealed evidence of an open-air courtyard with a sacred tree enclosure, which is a common feature in ancient Levantine high places, right where the stone stands. The stone and the courtyard date to the late Bronze Age. This perfectly overlaps the biblical timeline of Joshua's final year. And the stone was found standing in a carved stone socket, proving it was an intentional monument meant to be stood upright as a prominent witness, not just a fallen wall fragment. In verse 27, Joshua says something fascinating. See, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord. Archaeologists' context here. In the ancient Near East, standing stones were often seen as witnesses to legal treaties. By placing the stone at the sanctuary, the geographical heart of the land, Joshua was creating a physical legal contract that the people could see every time they came to worship. Archaeologists note that this was a neutral site. It wasn't one of the cities that Joshua had destroyed. This suggests that the people may have already been sympathetic to Israelites, making it a perfect space for national covenant renewal. So, maybe even that stone mentioned there. Crazy. So, therefore it shall, again, and Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a large stone and set it up there under the terebinth, and was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said to all the people, behold, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord that he has spoke to us. Therefore it shall be a witness against you, lest you deal falsely with your God. So Joshua sent the people away, and every man to his inheritance. After these things, Joshua the son of Nun, and the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old, and they buried him in his own inheritance at Timnath-Serah, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, north in the mountain of Gash. Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders who outlived Joshua, and had known all the work that the Lord did for Israel. And as for the bones of Joseph, which the people of Israel brought up from Egypt, they buried them at Shechem in the piece of the land that Jacob brought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. It became an inheritance of the descendants of Joseph. And Eleazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him at Gibeah, at the town of Phinehas, his son, which had been given him in his hill country of Ephraim. Very, very interesting. And that is the story of Joshua. The book of Joshua finished. Wonder if they ever found those bones. Let's see. Any evidence of Moses? Or not Moses, Joseph. Moses was buried on the mountain. Or the answer, I guess we could also do so we just finished the book of Joshua. Okay, so we just finished the book of Joshua. It ends talking about that the bones of Joseph, which the people of Israel brought up from Egypt, they buried them at Shechem, and it says, and Eleazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him in Gibeah. So it just made me think. I was like, have we ever found what people think is those bones? So I'm just looking that up real quick. And then Moses and Aaron were both were buried outside of the promised land in on top of mountains. And so I was like, let's just look that up. Maybe if there's archaeological evidence of that, because it'd be interesting. So, and this will be the last thing before I close out. We'll go over all of them. So Joseph, the most compelling evidence for Joseph is not the presence of his bones, but the presence of an empty tomb that matches his unique lifestyle. The tomb in Egypt at Avaris Tel El Daba, archaeologists found a Semitic-style palace with 12 tombs behind it, which was a pyramid tomb usually reserved for royalty, containing a statue of a man with a Canaanite features and a multicolored robe. Well, that's like super pointing to Joseph. Significantly, this tomb was found entirely empty of its skeletal remains, which aligns with Exodus 13:19, stating that the Israelites took Joseph's bones with him. That's crazy. The tomb in Shechem, according to Joshua 24:32, Joseph was reburied there. A site near Nablus has been venerated as Joseph's tomb for centuries by Jews, Christians, and Samaritans. And 2003, after the site was damaged, Israeli antiquities personally reportedly observed a skeleton rather than an Egyptian mummy with a sarcophagus, though scientific verification was limited by the site's validity. Well, that's crazy. So even then, right? We get the story of Joseph, that it's like he's known for this multicolored jacket that his dad gives him, that he ends up getting sold into slavery, and then ends up in Egypt, goes to jail, and then ends up kind of ruling, being the only person underneath the pharaoh. And then they find a tomb with 12 tribes, right? So, and that's like the people that are because there's going to be the 12 tribes of Israel. And there's even 12 rooms behind them, kind of pointing towards the rest of the tribes. And then in the place that he's supposed to be buried in the Promised Land, also that he had Canaanite features, right? Because they were originally from Canaan. So then they go to Egypt as slaves, and then become, like, his lineage becomes slaves or whatever. But back in where they brought his bones afterwards, because they take his bones from Egypt to bring him back to the Promised Land in which God was giving him. And it says that they found there was a sarcophagus but without a mummy in it. It allegedly, this is like not like completely backed. This is kind of like they didn't scientifically check everything, and its verification is limited. But apparently, allegedly, there was a sarcophagus with a skeleton in it. But it's weird because the sarcophagus would be like, they should be mummified, you know. Very interesting. Let's go Eleazar. The people conclude the death of Eleazar, Aaron's son, buried in Gibeath. A large ancient tomb at the hill of Phineas are traditionally attributed to Eleazar and his brother Ithamar. The site has been a major pilgrimage. So they do have like a place that they believe he is buried. And then Aaron on Mount Hor, located near the ancient city of Petra, a white domed mosque sits atop a 1,350 meter peak built over the ruins of a Byzantine monastery, and the church dedicated to Aaron the high priest is there. Both Josephus and early Christian pilgrims recognize this peak as Aaron's final resting place. It's interesting. While the bones are not publicly displayed, the location remains a driver. So there's even that. Like, and then last but not least, Moses. The biblical is explicit with no one knows the place of his burial to this day in Deuteronomy 34:6. The search, because of the text, says God buried him in the valley in Moab. There is no official archaeological monument or bone record. While tourists visit Mount Nebo to see where Moses viewed the Promised Land, the churches and monuments there were built in the 4th and 6th centuries to commemorate the event, not to mark an actual grave. Scholars suggest that the burial was kept a secret to prevent the site from becoming an object of idolatry. That makes sense. I don't know if there's any guesses. So, the location of Moses' grave, there have been plenty of historical guesses and traditions over the last 3,000 years. Based on Deuteronomy 34:6, many scholars point to Karabat Urin Musa. This is a fertile valley at the foot of Mount Nebo that matches the biblical description of being in the valley of the land of Moab. Mountain candidate, despite the mention of a valley, early Christian traditions and some Jewish commentators like or argued Moses was buried on the mountain itself. This led to the construction of the Moses Memorial Church atop the mountain, which features an empty tomb and his cinder meant to symbolize his burial. A prominent Muslim tradition places the grave of Maqam el-Nabi Musa, located west of the Jordan River. The two-place mystery. An ancient Jewish midrash records a legend that a Roman soldier tried to find the grave, but were baffled because when they stood on a mountain, the grave appeared to be in the valley, and when they went to the valley, it appeared to be on the mountain. Archaeological surveys of the Mount Nebo region have found Byzantine chapels and communal monk burials, but no ancient burial shaft or ossuary linked to Moses. Scholars generally agree that if the physical grave ever existed, it was likely an unmarked, humble pit intentionally designed to fade into the rugged Moabite terrain to prevent it from becoming an idol. Oh, very interesting. Like, I know because people bring up all the time, like, where's Moses? And, like, I know it says like that, but I just figured, like, there might be some hints, you know. But, yeah, crazy, because they got the alleged bones of Aaron, Eleazar, Joseph, also. And those are all pretty prominent people in Bible. But so thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being a part of this. Pray that I pray some of these words reach you. I know it was just kind of the end of the Joshua that we went over, so there wasn't anything crazy happening. It was just more so Joshua kind of warning the people that God has given you all of these things, and that if you mess up, he's going to take it all away. And then we're going to see when we go on to the next books, Israel messes up a whole bunch. Like, spoiler alert, they be falling away from God and then getting back with God, falling away from God, getting back with God, falling away with God, getting back from God. And it's very kind of symbolic of our relationship with God. There's times where we're super close to God and we're just like really obeying everything in the book and like just giving him our whole heart and soul. And then there's times where we mess up, we fall away, and then we mess up some more, mess up some more, mess up some more, mess up some more. And I think that's really important. The reason, like, in the book, right, in the Bible we're reading right now, it said that Joshua put that that witness stone up, and then also the Gad, the Reubenites, and half of the tribe of Manasseh put up that other pillar as a witness to God, so that as a witness for their people to the good things that God has done and how God's the only reason why they're there, so that they don't forget, and also so that the people in the other Jordan don't forget that they were all together too. It's like it's very easy to fall away from God if you're not reminding yourself all the time, that he is God. It's our nature to fall away. It takes work to stay on the right path. It's like not an easy thing to do. So, I mean, that's why it's important to read the Bible. It's why it's important to learn about all the things that God has done. If you're not familiar with the Bible, if you're just kind of going to church on Sunday and they're just kind of giving you a pep talk and telling you that like everything's gonna be okay, it's like, don't get me wrong, like that's all good and dandy, but it's hard to like truly follow him if you don't really know his story and understand that he has been taking care of you. Like, like the confidence that he's gonna take care. It takes faith to understand that God's gonna take care of you. But when you look at like, it's even easier to know that he's going to take care of you if you just look at his resume, like he's taken care of you for all this time. And they didn't have a Bible back then to like look at and just see that story. So instead they had the stories that were orally passed around, and then they had these markers to kind of be witness of that story. And they could kind of look back at that and be like, oh, yeah, that was that. That's when God did this for us. This is remembrance of God doing this for us, doing this for this. And you could be like, dang, God's been doing a lot. God has done a lot for us. But there's not kind of, I mean, I guess like you can go see a church, you can go look at a cross and stuff here and there. But yeah, if you're not reading the Bible, you're not going to understand all the good things that God has done for you. I think it's super important to do that. I think it's also super important to stay grateful. Just really grateful for all the things that God has done for you, because just like start every morning with gratitude and thanking him for all the things that he's done for you. Go to night, every night before you go to bed, remind yourself of all the great things that God has done for you in your life, and before that, even just like being on the cross and just dying for your sins and just taking care of you. He blesses us abundantly every single day, more than we can even imagine. He keeps us fed. He keeps us, not dying of thirst, not dying of hunger. We might not always have what we want, but he always gives us exactly what we need. He's provided for us everything we need to get to this point in our lives. Every single one of us. Me, you, everybody on this planet. God has been making everything work to get them to their point right now. And it's Israel in particular, when they're being provided for walking around in the wilderness, right? They were upset because they was getting the same meal every day. They were like, oh man, this bread again, just this bread again. They were they were complaining that God was providing for them, because God was providing for them in a way that they were tired of. They were like, nah, we want more. We want this. When they didn't want bread, they wanted, I don't know, whatever delicacies were in Egypt. They're like, maybe we should just stay in Egypt. We had better food over there, basically, right? Don't get like that. Be thankful that he's here. Be thankful that he's taking care of. Be thankful that you have life, you got breath, you got food, you got people that love you. You have so much stuff right now. Focus on that, and you won't even be able to worry about all the things in your life that you don't have, because you already got way more. You are already abundantly blessed. But so that is Joshua. Tomorrow we are getting into Judges with another 3 chapters, and then we'll just keep going from there. God bless, guys.